Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back as always. Huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So coming back with the last little sort of foiled set of this kit that's free with magazine, Crafting with Hunkydory magazine number 81. This is Animal Antics and this is Have a Wild Time. So you've got this beautiful little happy monkey there. You've got your lion, your zebra and the sloth with, looks a bit robinish, but I'm sure there aren't robins where there, well maybe there are, I don't know. But he's got a kind of bird with him there. You've got a couple of tag sentiments, so especially for a little monkey, have a rawsome day, to the party animal and send in sloths of love. You've also got have a wild time. You've got a little sloth in a little button one there and a monkey as well. Then the foiled one has got this beautiful leaf fern on the corners. And then your printed one has got more of that beautiful monkey. Just for my first card, I've also got one of the inserts that I've printed off by downloading from Hunkydory Hub. Okay, so let's pop that to the side for a second. And I thought what I would do for my first card would be a zigzag card. So if I bring in my trimmer, no, this is not my trimmer, this is my embossing adorable scoreboard. And I've got my 6x12 300 GSM cardstock, and I'm going to start by just scoring at 4 and then turning that around and scoring at 4 again. So when this is folded over, it's going to give us those 3 sections. And if I just grab my trimmer, sorry I just dropped something else on the floor, bring my trimmer in. Ready, I've got a pencil and a ruler, and so it's going to fold that way and then that way. So I'm going to mark from, let's just go down to 2 inches on here. So I'm just going to put a little mark. And then I'm just going to line that up gently with that crease there on that 4 inch. So that means that each layer is going to go down just that little bit each time. So what I can do now is just pop that in, making sure that line is just over my cut line. I can always rub it out if it's still showing. There we have. And then if we do our folds, and we've got our card like so. Now if you wanted a steeper sort of incline down, you just go down to 3 inches or 2.5, whichever you feel. But I wanted a fair amount to put this topper on, so I just wanted that little bit to be there. So let me just put that to the side and I'll just furnish these down. Oops. And finish that one down as well. Okay. So the next thing I need is going to be some gold mirror card, and I'm going to have to decorate all 3 pieces. So I'm going to want a piece on the back here, a piece on here, and a piece on here. So that back piece, sorry about Henry, the back piece is going to be the easiest because that's going to be 4x6. So I'm just going to take 2 notches off the 4. And 2 notches off the 6, and that will fit quite nicely onto there, like so. Obviously we're going to save those pieces. So the next one, again we're going to go 2 notches under the 4, and before I do the top, I'm just going to cut one more here. 2 notches under the 4. Okay, let's put that out of the way for just a second. So I really want to get that angle on these correct. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to try and line it up at the bottom because I know this is at the 4 inches, but if I pop that in like so, turn that over, and then just put a pencil line on there, that's the angle I need to go at. I can then come in and trim the length. And then same again with this one. I'm going to pop it on, I'm going to pop it down to the bottom it over. Just make sure that's nice and straight. The alternative is to get a piece of A4 gold mirror card and then do the same cuts and then just trim the bottom. Okay, so you would go, you know, you would cut it to 8 by 6, and then on the 8" you would go down, mark 2 inches on one side and then cut that up and then just take the bit off the bottom. So let's just pop this piece in, take that one off, and then this one here. It just needs to go a little further along. I'll just do that with my guillotine. Just didn't quite go to the tip, so I've got kind of like a little weird bunchy bit there, but because it's so fine it's not being picked up by that trimmer, so that's a bit smoother there. Okay, so now what I can do is come in here, move that down a little bit, and I'm going to take I need to go this way around. So I'm going to take that there. Let's see what that looks like. It's a little wider than I would have liked. I might redo that one. And then this one we should, I'm going to do is do the old way that I used to do it and mark it with my nail. Do it with a pencil if you prefer. Okay, let's have a look. Just need a little bit more. So you can see it's easier to take another little bit off than to keep trying to get that straight. That's another tiny bit. That one's better. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just grab another piece of gold. Can always use this one for die cutting or such like. We cut that to 2 notches under the 4. So it doesn't always go right. What I can do, I know that that is correct. So if I grab my pencil and I can pop and just check. No, see, it would have been the wrong way. Look, glad I decided to check that. So let's just I'm second guessing myself. Let me get rid of that piece altogether. Let's just go back to the way we did the first one. So I know that's got to go on there. Let's turn it upside down so I know which one I'm using. Over. Right. Now let's have a little look. Where are we? We are here. That's perfect. So what I'll do, since I've got the pencil in my hand, just make a little mark. This is the better way to do it. So showing you the wrong way and the right way. Don't guess. blade. There we go. Now I'm happy. Now we have to do these again, unfortunately, with all of our other layers. So let's start with this piece first of all. So this is going to be my middle piece. So I decided to use this rather than the printed paper because I figured there's still somewhere to write on the card then. Can't pick that up. So I know it needs to be 3 3/4. I'm going to take a piece off the bottom there. And then this is going onto this middle piece. So if I do the same as I did before, line it up with the bottom. This is going to be easier because it's paper. That should fit nicely onto there, and it does. And then what I can do, just put a little mark there and come above that. Hopefully that should be that one matted and layered. Perfect. Then for these two others, what I want to use is the cardstock. So I'm going to use this one here. So let's come in at 3 3/4. And I think we'll use this one as our base piece. So that's going to be by 5 3/4. So we've got that piece there. So this is what we're looking at the moment. So we've got the nice little bit of foiled. We're going to have that nice little bit of green. And then we're going to have another piece of this. So again, 3 3/4. So it does leave us less to play with for our next card. What I'm going to do again, put this onto here. Make sure that's nice and straight. Our line down. So that should fit pretty much onto there. Could just do, let me bring that in. It's just a tiny tad too much in that. I think that should be a bit better. Perfect. It's just, it was just a tiny bit too high on one side, but it's because it was just a tiny bit. If I'd have tried to put it through this trimmer, it would have shredded it instead of cutting it nicely. So just put a little mark on there, so it's just better to do that one with the guillotine. Okay, let's see how that fits. Perfect. Okay, so hopefully I've not confused you more with that. But I think the easiest way is to do that marking on the back and then trimming it afterwards. Unless you've got a sort of template of this, maybe if you've got, if you want to do a lot of these, cut these matte and layers out of a piece of cheap cardboard, cereal box, that sort of thing. And then what you can do is just go over that with your pencil all the way around, and it's really quick and easy to do each time then. Probably what I should do, but it wouldn't help you if I didn't show you the best and worst ways in this case to do it. Okay, so the glues I'm going to be using, my usual glues. So I've got the tacky glue in this one, which is Cloud tacky glue. I've got Cloud all-purpose glue in this one. I'm also going to be using the Hunkydory permanent tape pen. So and I use that on the paper, on the insert paper, just because this tacky glue is not great with paper. So now we've got all of our layers, it's all pretty quick going now. So by doing those sort of, if you do a couple of sort of, not stencils exactly, but sort of mats, so that you know what you're doing each time, you could knock these out really quickly. And with the printable inserts and things, you know, it's worth just you know, making lots of these cards. I know they do take a bit more paper than you know, a plain 6x6, but it does turn out to be a slightly smaller card. I'm probably going to make it still around about 6x6 because I've got that oversized topper on it. But if I didn't put the oversized topper on it, this would be only 6x4, which is a pretty small envelope, especially for you guys in the States. I know you guys tell me that your postage costs are horrendous. So getting that way here, to be fair, but I suppose it's cheaper than a new pair of boots to go buy and walk all the way there, and the time, etc. So we tolerate it, don't we? Not like we've got much choice in that. But hey ho. So we're just going to keep going with these layers. And you'll have to let me know if you've got this kit and what your favourite one is. I mean, I do like the monkey, but I did like that little squirrel, little happy squirrel. And I did like the pig as well, and the cow. There were so many nice elements in this one. Considering, you know, it's free in a magazine, it's good going in it, because usually free stuff is not always what you would want to play with. Although I have to say, craft magazines, not that there's many of them these days, they do tend to be the exception. You do tend to get some good things in there. Okay, let's bring this topper in now, I can stop talking nonsense. So I was thinking maybe monkey, maybe sloth. Oh, I think I might go with a sloth. Mum liked a sloth for some reason. She was quite enamoured with them. Made her a sloth card with Crafter's Companion. Over the edge, I think it was a sloth card. She thought it was great. Okay, so we're just going to pick these frames out carefully. And there we go. So you can see you're just going to come over the edges a little bit. If you've got a slightly oversized envelope, you'll be alright. I'm not sure on my 6x4 ones. I think they might all be to size. And we've got our little sloth there. I don't know if I want to go with that green. I think maybe I will, because it picks up on there. And then we've got our Sending Sloths of Love, which is our tag that needs to go on. And I am going to take this little button out. Maybe I'll put the button there. Don't know about that one yet. Maybe I might get another sentiment instead and put that on the inside of there. So let's just grab my little books here. This is an older one, so I think it may be green. I've already nicked the happy birthday, so we could come in maybe up there with a have a lovely day, or we could swap that around. Yeah, I think that maybe that. Oh, we've got that one there just for you. That's the dark green. I do quite like that now. Let me just double check there's no orange ones in here. It's finding orange and gold. That's the tricky thing. No, we'll go with that. We'll go with that dark green. I know it's not the same green, but it stands out quite nicely. Or shall I go with that lovely day? I'm going to go with the lovely day. Oh, indecisiveness. I've got to find it again. Not that one. Where did you go? Here we go. Right, you're going back. So are you, because you know. There we go. We're going with our Have a Lovely Day. I just think it's a closer match to that green. So, and I can have that going across like so. Okay, there we go. We've got a plan. So, thinking trim those little pips off. Okay, so I'm going to come in with some 1mm foam pads. And just going to make sure there's no right or wrong way. No, there's not. So just making sure we're not putting them where they can be seen. I'm cutting these quite narrow. So, it's going to be right there. And that one there. So right, turn this over, hopefully. Okay, so let's take these off. Okay, we're going to put some tacky glue on, just in case we need to wiggle room that around a little bit. That in the middle, and that's fine. Okay, so now this one I'm going to go flat with, so I'm just going to use some tacky glue. You could use your dotty tape pen if you want to. Okay, and then this one, I'm going to grab some 2mm foam pads, pop them in, just using these bits that are on the side here. Last one there, so a nice bit of support for it there. Now, any other sort of foam pads on these other layers, just be super careful, don't go too chunky, or you're going to find this card is hard to fold. So again, tacky glue, tacky glue, tacky glue. What I didn't do was make sure that these were all, I'll go around a little bit, right? So he's a little bit on the slant, and what I should have done is just made sure that that one was a little bit straighter, but I'm happy with well, everything else is on the slant anyway, so it's not that big a deal. So we're going in with this and that. I'll have a lovely day. There, I don't mind if that comes over that edge there. Just going to add in. Again, we want another bit. I'm only going 1mm on these again for my little slot. Another bit of glue. Pop him at the top. And then I think I'm going to come down the bottom here. I'm not going with any height on it. Like I say, I don't want that to affect my fold. So I'm going to pop that in the corner. And what I'm also going to do is grab some gems. Have I got any nice greenish ones? Let's have a look. There's an orange one there. I'm looking for one that's not too high, so I think these are quite flat. And rather than put a bow on there just to hide that, I'm going to put that little bit there. And what should we go with on the outside? Because we don't have to stay the same. Let's go with some of these. I think these are sepia. And I'm going to go with one down here, two up there. Oops, no, let's turn you around the right way. Oops. And I'm just going to put one there just to make up 5 on the card. You know how I like my odd numbers. So that is going to be our first card. Let me just pop those into there. Right way. There we've got our little zigzag card. So you would do your writing in there. It's quite easy to write in there. Or I suppose you could put a little printed message in there if you wanted to. It's just a nice little simple card with a different fold. That is card number 1, and I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for my second card, I'm going to do a smaller version of my little pop-up centre card. So I'm going to do this on a 5x5. Just trying to make my templates go a little bit further, and sort of extend the range of cards as well. So I'm going to take this piece of 12x6 300 GSM. You could do this out of a piece of A4 card. I just haven't got any to hand at the moment. In fact, I don't think I've got any in the house. So I'm just going to cut this to 10x5 to start off with. And then I'm going to pop this at the 1.5 inch mark. And I'm going to cut from 5.5 to 1, and then I'm just going to turn that over and do the same on the other side. Now the good thing about this card on this with that little piece left over is I think I'm going to be able to get all of my mats and layers out of that, but we will see how it goes. So 1 to 5.5 again. And then what I'm going to do is pop this in at the 1 inch mark. Give that a score across the middle. I'm going to go to 1.5. Let's get rid of that. There we go. 1.5. It just helps me find them on the scoreboard when they're in the middle. and then at, I will have to open that up again, no I don't, it's 5.5, at 5.5 across the centre again. So I will go over these on the scoreboard and I'll just tell you those sizes again. Of course I'll do a template that should go up hopefully earlier in the day, but definitely on the day that the video goes out. So again, I'm just scoring across the centre at 1, at 1/2, just in between those cut lines. At 5 inches I'm going all the way across because that's the halfway point of our card, and then at 5.5. Okay, so now we can come in and get these moving. You can see how quickly this card, I love this, the way this card just quickly sort of comes to shape. One of the easier ones to fold up. So let me just get that there, and I can just make sure I burnish that down straight. Same again, just make sure. Sometimes just like when you put a score line in, it just takes that card just off the straight. You can just easily put it back in just by making sure your card is lined up before you start burnishing. Then we've got a little tiny version, well it's not tiny, but it's a smaller version of that pop-up centre card that I usually do in a 6x6. Now the sides are different in this because on my 6x6 they're all 2 inches. What I did with this one is change them so that this is 1.5, this is 1.5, and this is 2. Okay. So let me just pop my scoreboard out of the way and bring in the trimmer. Got enough to use. There we go, we've got some gold memory card. So we're going to go, we need 2 borders that are 1.5 by 5. So I'm just going to take 2 notches off those measurements. So 1.5 minus 2 notches by 5 minus 2 notches, and that one's going to fit into there quite nice. And then we're going to do the same here. Oops, didn't go all the way to the end. 5 minus 2 notches. And then next I'm going to do, I've been doing it slightly different recently with these, I'm going to take it to 2 inches. So I've got a piece left over there, and just for this piece here I'm going to go 2 notches under the 1, which is going to go in there quite nicely. And then I'm going to take 2 notches off the 2 inches, and that will be 3.5. So we're going to take 2 notches off that. There we go. Right, okay, so let's go with, I think I'll go this way round. So we're going to go 1.25, and these need to be 4.75. May not get it all out of here like I thought I would. Let's go. In fact, I'm definitely not going to get it all out of here. That's okay. I can bring in a little bit of the other cardstock. So 4.75. Seems a shame to cut that foiling off, but we've got a nice strip there. We can use that as a border elsewhere. And then, what size is that? Oh, that might be perfect. So 3.5. So it's going to be 3.25 by 1.75. It's going to be that piece there. What is that? Let's use one of these pieces here. So for this piece here, we need to be 3/4 of an inch. Actually, should we use a bit of the foiled? Yes, let's do that. So it needs to be 2 notches under the 2. And let's just put that little bit of foil on the bottom at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so it's just going to draw your eye in. Okay, so these are all of our layers, so now we can just pop those all on. And again, just using all the same glues. These are all cardstock, so I'm just going to use my normal glues on everything except for that tiny piece, where I've just been finding it easier to use the dotty tape pen. And what I may actually do in the future is move over to an alcohol based glue that I'm using now and the dotty tape pen. So I think when I have run out of this glue, this Clout all-purpose glue, I don't think I'm going to be replacing it. Might just keep a little bit in case I need it for a box or something, but maybe I'll wait until I get down to the last bottle. But yeah, I just found that tape pen just on those corners is brilliant. It's just brilliant, and I love the way they feel in my hand as well. They are one of the most comfortable tape pens I've ever used, and I've been crafting 20 years. Not that I've been a big fan of tape pens. What I find is they stop it popping up like that's just done. I have to put a bit of tape on there. Come on now, and that one's done the same. Just give that a second to stick down. You can make sure that they are in that line. I can see a little bit of the PVA glues just come out here. So just because it's the PVA, I can go in and just wipe that off with a clean tissue. Once it's all gone, I'll be able to buff that up or use the glue eraser on it. Okay, so learning from that, what I'm going to do is pop some tape on the centre. I'll still use my normal glues in the corner, but less. Okay, let's pop you onto there. And again, we'll just pop a bit. Actually, we'll just do it on the corners like we said we were going to. All-purpose. I like using the all-purpose because it does add that little bit of strength to your cardstock as well, which is nice to have. Okay, see that one's on the move again. Nothing worse. There we go, you're right. Okay, so this one, just going to put a little bit on, not too much. And I've started just going to the 2" with this piece here. Just it kind of looked a bit like the gap was too wide, and I think it fits the card a little better by just doing that bottom bit to the correct size, to whatever size this is. Because obviously you could size this right up to 7 or 8 inches. All you need to do is divide it into 3, so 3 sections, and then you're going to cut at 1.5, then you're going to score at whatever the midpoint is, and then you're going to cut up to 1/2 inch above it, because that's what that is there. If you wanted it to pop out even more, you could go for a 1 inch, but then you'd have to go an extra 1/2 inch at the top. But you've got those options to mix that up if you feel like you want to. Okay, so I was feeling like for this one, the zebra, I think, zebra. We're going to go to the party animal. This can come in down here. What I want to go with, have a wild time. Let's just pop back to our little book. This is one of the older ones. I don't know if it's last year's or the years before. Actually, I might have 2019 here. Let's have a look at 2019. Here we go, because this one's not falling apart quite so much. My dad, my hero, brilliant nephew. Oh, I like the browns. Have we got nephew in the brown? That would be cool. Yeah. Let's bring that in. Oh, yes. Happy, happy, happy. Okay. So that's there. And also, I think I'm going to pop... I might pop a bit of ribbon on this one. So I am going to pop some 1mm foam pads on the back of here. So what I can do, just make sure she's, or he, I don't know if it's a he or she zebra. Just pop 2 pads on there. There we go. You can pop her on. Scissors. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of ribbon on this. So just keeping that foam pad on my finger for now. Pop this down here. Might need another little bit. Let's leave that tissue. It's clean, but doesn't need to be on my desk. Okay. So we're going to come in with that one up there. Now I want my little bow folder, bow maker. This is an old Glitter Girls one. You can see it's pretty battered. And I've actually got some green ribbon that's quite similar in colour to this. So you can see I just wrapped it around an old tag of Hunkydory's. It was from a kit where there was pansies in a pot, and you know, they had all these little garden tags, and then when I was tidying something out I just randomly came across the tags, so I've been using them to store ribbon on. But there we go, so cut that ribbon a little bit long, but we'll be fine. It's not like I've got a shortage of ribbon in the house. So that one is going to go onto there like so. Bring in my favourite tweezers. Give that a little squish down. And I'm also, I think I might go gold with these. But we want some of the sort of bigger ones. Just clean that off, a little bit gloopy around the edge. Just put 3 there. And it's always sort of a risk putting beads on a kiddie's card, I think, but obviously you would supervise. Although I don't think they're big enough to choke on. The whole card might be, but I don't think the actual beads would be. But it's always worth supervising, isn't it? There we go. Right. So that is my second card finish. So this is that pop-up centre on a 5x5. Like I say, I will do the template for you people that do love the templates. And I will put that on. Obviously I need to keep that on for a little while just for that to set. So that is card number 2, sorry, can't even count. And then we've got card number 1, which is your little zigzag fold. So 2 cards a little bit different today. Next time I'm coming back again with this kit, but it is going to be the paper craft side of it. So there was there's a couple of pages of toppers and papers, so I thought it would be fun to use those up and then after that I'll have a little play with those acetates and try and make a couple of cards out of those as well. Try and come up with something different, maybe do a shaker card, but maybe do it in a different way. We'll see. I've got a couple of ideas. After that, I'm hoping that the special days kit, you know, the one that's supposed to be over the year, I'm hoping that's going to be here by then. And then what I can do is work through the whole of that. I think there's 12 sets, 12 different sets. So I'm going to work through the whole of those over the next, well, it'll be 12 crafting days, 24 days, so nearly a month of that. But don't worry, don't think you're going to get bored, because you still will have, I'm going to keep going with the Wednesday workout. So that will be a more die cutting video. And there will be some more content coming in as well. Hunkydory, I can't say too much about it at the moment. But there will be some more content coming in, and that will probably, I think, be extra to what I do normally. So a bit extra work for me, but I think you're going to love it. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. But until then, happy crafting. Bye.